quick video today. I'm going to talk about the 3 best new champions coming out to Legendary Terra. Number 1, or I guess in 3rd place, the 3rd best that's coming out is going to be Nami. Now, Nami is kind of a interesting card. It's very different, right? When you cast a spell, you get +1 to your weakest ally that isn't immobile. So you won't give this to barrels, basically. That's kind of why they put that in there. And so she's going to work very well with elusive decks, but the clear one is going to be Fizz. Fizz is very annoying, and her flip is super easy. You just have to gain 7+ spell mana in this game. You could do that as soon as turn 4, and that is pretty insane. All things considered, because when she flips, it's +2/+1 when you cast, and it's permanent, which is a very key thing that I think people might overlook, is that this is going to stick on them. So if you have Fizz and her, and they're trying to kill Fizz, and you're just, using his ability and just countering spells, he's going to be huge. Because, you'll basically start buffing up Nami eventually, but Fizz is going to be huge, and he's annoying by himself already. He's not a top tier card by any means, but Nami's definitely a card I think right out the gate should be one that people should be looking at. I feel like this is a very strong card. I think it's going to be very fun to play around. Number 2. Now, I already know people might be not shocked by this. Kaelin. If we look at her stats, she's a 3 mana, 3/3. Already, with Quick Attack, this is a pretty strong average card, right? Because there's a lot of other 3 mana cards that are very similar to this, right? You have Fiora that's 3/2. You have Draven that's a 3/3. You have Aurelia that's 3/2. Both of them with Quick Attack. Then you have Zed. And you kind of see the trend. Like, she's pretty similar to everyone else, so we have to look at her strike. So basically, whenever she hits someone, this isn't Nexus Strike, it's when she strikes, she gets this flash bomb trap and deals 1 to a random enemy. Now, this could be insane because there's a lot of cards to enable her to get more, but she just has to hit 5 of them. In some ways, it's easier than Teemo. In other ways, it's harder. But dealing 1 damage to random enemies on the board can be such a useful thing in a ranked game that if there's only 1, that's the only one getting hit. There's 2, there's a bunch of 1-drops or 1 health minions are all going to get hit, or they could get hit and die really quickly, and just the threat's done just because they drew a card. And because she gets 2 when she hits, this goes really well. Scout, maybe even some free attack. There's a lot of crazy stuff that you can do. I think her plus Noxus is going to be such a crazy combination with her destroying damaged allies, right? Such a theme with Noxus that putting that with Caitlyn could be such a dangerous threat, especially with how many good, cheap supporting cards there are for her. Now, she's definitely better than Nami. Some people might debate me that maybe a Poppy or a Tristana is better, but I think in terms of tournament play and consistency, I think Caitlyn is really good. I think Nami falls out on consistency in a way, but I think Caitlin's going to do great. Last, but certainly not least, it's going to be, if you're surprised by this, I'm even more surprised. It's going to be Senna. 100% without a doubt, Senna is ridiculous. When she is summoned or attacked, she creates darkness, which is already such a good combination with a new card, Vigor, which basically buffs up darkness. So these two naturally go together. But what makes it good is that your damage and kill spells accelerate to fast. This alone gives her a lot of flexibility, but also you can put her with so many regions that have soul cells, and the first one that came to mind was Shurima. So you could have a lot of Senna decks that utilize this alone, and then the darknesses with Vigor, because in my opinion, Legend of Terra has a very bad habit of whatever's new is the best thing. And now you have her who is just crushing things. Like, literally. Oh my god. And she creates a darkness in hand when you attack. It's going to be fast, and it costs 1 less. So you basically have a 2 mana. So you have a Mystic Shot, basically, if you're not running Vigor, every time you attack, which is better than Ezreal. She is 5 mana. I will give you that. Like, she is 5 mana, but this is probably the first time I'm going to bring this up, because I feel like it just strengthens, it just really boosts the case, right? I'm talking fast, I can't say that word. This card, if you have 2 Sennas, it's going to be so good. I don't think you'll run it. If you do, cool. But it's literally the kill spell in Shadow Isles, plus a little extra. Because the reason why I say you have 2 sets, right? You have one out, you have one in your hand. The one in your hand becomes this. You get a kill spell, you drop everyone's attack, and because you have her out, it's slow, and it costs 1 less if she's flipped. What? The insanity! This card is going to be insane with her. And now, of course, I've been talking a lot about it. I will bring up Vigor. Vigor is a part of the Shadow Isles, and so that's why I think what makes this super interesting is that you can pair him up with her, because they're both Shadow Isles. Then you could bring in anything else. And that's what I think is going to make this deck super good. I'm pretty sure you can do that, because I'm pretty sure... I don't think if you use this, you have to do this combination. I'm pretty sure it just counts as one. If it counts as both, that's going to be so annoying. But, I could be wrong. But my impression is that if you do Vigor and Senna, you can do a different region. But you just can't use anything from Bandle City. You can only use Shadow Island codes. But, round start, grant every darkness everywhere 1 extra damage. That means... like every turn he's out, you're boosting him. And then when he flips, you can hit it everywhere. And it can target anything. And so that's even better. It's even so much better. You could be one-shotting the Nexus, essentially, if the game goes long enough. And I think that's what's going to be really good. I don't think his spell is going to matter too much. But this is a darkness. It can be fast and 1 less. With Senna. Oh, gosh. I think those are the 3 best cards, right? I realize now that I didn't show the other side of Caitlyn when she flips. It's nothing crazy. It just finds 4 more. I don't think I really need to talk too much about Kaelin, but, Oh, man. But, yeah. Her spell's pretty good, too. Deal 2 and then plant 2. Way better than Teemo's, which is just 5, which makes sense because, she's a 3 cost, so you get a little bit more value. But this has been a crazy release. I would probably put this on par with Shurima. I think Shurima has been their best set when they introduced the triple level up, right? The 3rd gen, right? I love it. I don't love Zerath, but I just love that Shurima introduced Gnosis, Renekton, and Azir all have these great 3rd level ups, or 2nd level ups? Yeah, 2nd level ups. And they're all super good, they're all super strong. And now this one, I think they put out a lot of interesting cards. Impact is something that I want to know. Because Impact can stack, and so you can do a lot of crazy things with that with Yordles. I think the only cards that I didn't like was Scion, Zerath, and Ziggs, and I think the easiest way to explain why I don't like them so much is because it's too early, right? Because my biggest issue with Legendary Terror right now is that they release these cards with a few supporting ones, right? And it just really doesn't feel like that champion can be played competitively. It's more of like this is a fun idea kind of deck, right? It's not competitive. And I feel like it's too early for them, and we just need time for them to build up and get more and more cards that they can use and utilize. And then I think eventually they'll be good. And that's including Scion. I think Scion has a great idea, but they need more. And that goes with Ziggs and Zerath, because they both need more landmarks with effects when you destroy them. Because a countdown doesn't affect... countdown doesn't count as destroying. So there's not a lot of options for landmarks that can be destroyed. And I think that's what really hinders them. And so when they get more options, they'll be top tier. But right now, those are my top three. Tristana and Poppy, we'll wait on Tristana and Poppy. I could be wrong, sue me, but you just have to give them time, because, honestly, I think they'll be good, but I think in the next 2 releases, we're gonna have a lot of good stuff. For Bandle City, right? Bandle City is gonna grow rapidly, and that's why I think that the Yordles right now aren't super good, because I think Tristana needs more multi-region, and I think Poppy, Poppy is just a basic card. That's my problem with Demacia. There are a lot of just basic, just hammerhead-like cards where you just kind of try to brute force it, and right now it feels like you can't really do that. I think way back when the game was first released, this would be a great card, especially with impact on the flip, but 4 mana 4/3, it's just a little too easily killed. Grant me and all allies with equal or less power than me. Yeah, her attack is really good. I will say that. Her attack is really good. If I had to put Poppy somewhere, I would put her 4th place. I think she's pretty strong, because she'll buff herself up. Because that's my problem with Shyvana, is it doesn't stick. And I feel like that's so lame, because I think Shyvana as a character, as a card, let me rephrase that. Shyvana as a card doesn't really make sense. She has Fury, that's awesome. This side, fair. 4 mana 3/4, whatever. Sure. Would I rather have this as a 3 mana? Maybe. I think it might be better. But this, I really think they should get away this round. I think it should be more permanent. I think as a dragon, I want Shyvana to be this hulking beast of a dragon. And why she's such a, because why is she a champion over all of the dragons should not be because she's half human, right? It should be because she's freaking badass. And so I would love for her to gain her ability to keep her permanent, even if it's just a +1/+1 and it's permanent moving forward, making her a 3 mana card. I think that would be so much better for her. But that's just my opinion. But this is way off topic. But once again, if you're going to go and just pre-build a deck right away, right now, it should be Vigor and Senna. I think this is going to be the craziest deck. I think it's going to be the strongest, and probably dominate the meta for the next at least month, and maybe even until the next release. Just my opinion. I'll see you later.